Hey, what's going on? It is the permission statement. I'm here with Hero. Hero, Hero. See what's up, us. See what's up, us. So it's my 47th birthday. I'm here with my son in Santa Rosa, California, near downtown. Hold on, Hero. You have to excuse me. There's gonna be some background noise because my dog is pretty spoiled. I'm here at the Redwood Gospel Mission. In 2010, February 20th, I was already on a downward spiral, dealing with chaos and mayhem. I was in Las Vegas, trying to make headway, but nevertheless self-destructive. Trying to break free of those chains, right? Of the past. The permission statement. The lies our brains and our bodies will tell us to justify some of the things we do. So I'm here at Redwood Gospel Mission in 2010, February 20th. I received a phone call. That night I had a nightmare that I was being ambushed in Afghanistan. I wasn't in Afghanistan, but I had a dream that I was with other men that I didn't know, and that the mud got in the lower receiver, and these dudes was coming around. It was crazy. It seemed so realistic too. I was at my buddy Wally. He owned a Hucklebuck tattoo and body piercing out in Las Vegas. I was at his pad on his couch, and I woke up and I told him about it, man. Like immediately, like, yo, I just had this dream. It was crazy. It felt so damn real. And then I went back to my house in Northtown. Well, not my house, the house I was staying at. Shout out to Mikey and Perla who looked out for me. And Emilio too over in Centennial Hills. But I was in Northtown back before it started getting kind of cleaned up. But I got back to Northtown and I was making some food in the kitchen, and my dog's a little bit of a be quiet, Hero. My big old crazy bruiser dog. Hero. And I was making some food in their kitchen, and I got the phone call from Michael Cardenas' sister that he was no longer with us, that he passed in Afghanistan. It was like, whoa, it was a trip. So I was already on a downward spiral, but I immediately, can't remember if I got on a bus. Yeah, I think I got on a bus and went to Moreno Valley to go be with his family. His family was in Corona. No, they were living in Moval at the time. Met up with Yadir Omar Montiel, who served with me in Germany. He's from Wilmington, but he lives over there in Moval. And we all served together. We used to go to Amsterdam together, and we were all over Germany doing it tough, doing it big. So he was part of that whole experience. Like when I landed in Germany, and it was crazy because there I was on the other side of the planet, and Omar had already been there as well as other, and there were several Californians, and we automatically clicked. Those of us who were from California, a guy from Fresno, one guy from Riverside, a guy from Otay, San Diego, one from Florencia, of course Omar from the harbor area, and yeah, we did what we did in Germany. What I needed to hear the pop. I needed to pull my head out of my ass and hear the pop, as I say it. I learned that from other people, where you hear the pop when you pull your head out of your ass. And so in 2010, I was in Vegas, and there was this dude named Gilbert. He's passed away since, but he was on his way to move to Hayward, and I said, yo, give me a ride, drop me off in Delano. So I went to Delano to my friend's place, and I brought my dog with me, Dozer, and then from Delano, I was able to get here to Santa Rosa. I drove from Delano, came straight here to Santa Rosa Junior College, and then checked in to the Redwood Gospel Mission, and started going to school full time. But it was here, so you can stay upstairs long term if you're in a rehabilitation program, which I wasn't at the time. I was just like cold turkey. It's just stop substance abuse. No weed, no alcohol, no none of that stuff. But you show up to church down here at a certain time, and then they have food, meals, and everything in there. And then afterwards, you can go upstairs and take a shower, and they have dormitories. But you can only stay for 14 days, and there's got to be a gap in staying. I wish they were open right now because I'd like to give them a shout out. But if it wasn't for this place right here, I wouldn't be a homeowner now, even though everything's in chaos. And I wouldn't have a son because that was the launch pad, the leaping, the springboard. Hold on, let me go quiet. Hero, stop. But it started here at Rebel Gospel Mission and Sonoma County. There's all kinds of programs that they have to help people. I was only homeless for 3 months here. They have Vet Connect, they have North Bay Veterans Resource Center, and they have the actual vet clinic over there. And they helped me get dialed in. And so I dedicated the next 11 months of my life just going to school and exercising and getting my mind right so that when I do and if I did meet a person who really just blew my mind, that I would have something to contribute or to bring to the table for that endeavor. Not to approach it with I have all these ambitions and all these plans and goals, but without putting no footwork down to it. You meet somebody that's phenomenal or stellar or maybe like-minded or driven and has the same drive element. You have to have some steps already laid out. Like I've done this, and this towards that endeavor. Because if you're just talking about I want to do this and I'm gonna do this, man, that's questionable. Not saying that people can achieve, but I think it's more ideal before you jump into something like that to show hey, this is what I've done to prefer that end goal. Not just a bunch of I wanna. Got to be careful with them people. That's like those toxic friends. You got to be careful, man, because if they're talking a whole bunch of pipe dreams and they haven't laid anything down or done any footwork towards that goal, then maybe they're in that same circle, that circular logic where they're expecting to move forward, but they're spinning their wheels stationary. Let me see. I gotta make sure nobody messes with my dog. Or make sure my dog doesn't wild out on nobody. So if you don't know, this area right here is downtown. Harold, good boy, calm down. The college is just a few blocks that way. And so I would get up in the morning, I would eat my breakfast, I would shower, and then I would ride my bike to the college. And there was a lady, she owned Abbey Wood Kennels, out there in South Santa Rosa, and she would look out for my dog during this time. And the agreement was that I would ride my bike out there every couple of days and take him for walks and take good care of him, which I did. So her help was man, it was paramount to, because Dozer meant everything to me. Everything I was doing was to get to a place where I could have he and I right there. He was like he was my first kid, the way I look at it. And I knew I had to be responsible for him, not just for myself. So that was helpful. And like I said, at the time, I didn't have enough in myself to do it for myself. So I did it for Dozer, and I did it for my brother that passed, and the other brothers, that, hey, if I don't live every day, if I don't stop shooting myself in the foot, then I'm failing them. So that was how I did it. Now I have my son. I still have them too. There's still a drive element, but my drive element now is my son. It was my family, but that thing's it's in utter, it's in chaos. But focal point still being my son. But I'm here at Redwood Gospel Mission in Santa Rosa. This place, what does it say? Redwood Gospel Mission. If you don't have a friend in the world, you can find one here. And that's the truth, man. And we sleep on the floor down here. And, you would start off down here on the floor, now that I remember it. And then you could go upstairs to the dormitory, and you could stay for the 14 days unless you were going to stay long-term for the rehabilitation center. And I bumped into other people that I knew as a kid over in Napa before I started running away. And they were here getting dialed in. Crazy, like our paths crossed over here. So Rebel Gospel Mission, Santa Rosa, California. This place right here. They also teamed up with the folks out there in Occidental at the Redwood Canopy Tours, and they looked out for people. So this place right here, this place right here, it was without it, and without all the help and positive energy, and that goes also to the family and friends that put forward energy. I realized that it's like, if I did not stop defeating myself, that I was failing them as well, and I owed it to them for all the energy they put out. And that's where I'm at here in life. I know it seems like sometimes like, oh, I'm trying to talk down on somebody. Man, fuck that, man. I get tired of people trying to play that game. I'm saying we could do better. Let's lock arms. Let's do it together. But when you're dealing with, if you're dealing with a narcissist, that's the first thing they're gonna try to do is, oh, it's an attack. No, it's not. I'm holding you to account, and you should hold me to account. We should hold each other. We gotta rise above, man. We can't. One of us has to be strong. If it's you got a right leg and I don't, and you got, you fill in the parts that I don't have, and we could do it together. So I learned after a while that if people aren't gonna help themselves, you gotta just kind of let them hit the bottom. Once they hit the bottom, they should be ready. Ain't nowhere to go but up. So, but until they get to the bottom, they're not ready yet. So sometimes they're gonna expect you to carry them across the finish line, and that's not good. You're not helping them by doing it. That enabling actually immobilizes their upward mobility. Hero, stop, man, come on. Oh, this dang dog. So, there you are, Rebel Gospel, wonderful place. Hero, stop. Hey. He sees all this. Shh. Hey, Hero, stop. Come on. Calm down. Hey, calm down. See, look at this. Look at you. He wants to go after those dogs, so I'll get back with you.